Hi, my name is Leona, and if you're watching this, it's probably because you want to know a little bit about my story. So let's just get right into it. I am 32 years old, and I live in a very small town in the middle of nowhere, Missouri, called Warrensburg. I live here with my main squeeze and fiance, Ben, and our two dogs, Gracie and Achilles. Currently, I'm working for a home improvement store, and I gotta be honest with you, I absolutely fucking hate my job. I hate going in there every day. It's a dead-end job, and it doesn't really give me any purpose in life, really. It reflects in my attitude, in just how I am on my day-to-day, and also around my waistband. I have definitely gained a bunch of weight in the past couple of years. And you're probably wanting to know a little bit about that story. So before I start that, let me just get into this. Here we go. Hi, my name's Leona, and I'm a yo-yo dieter. And you say, hi, Leona. I'm kind of treating this like rehab because I truly am a yo-yo dieter, and I have been since I learned the word thick, and that was back when I was 10 years old. The first time I heard the word thick and I associated it with being big or bigger than most of my friends, I have been terrified of that word. It's almost like a curse word to me. So ever since I was 10 years old, I have been trying to lose weight, and not in the healthiest of ways. I have binged and purged. I have restricted food. I have gone on long juice fasts, which I won't say that that was necessarily unhealthy. That was really life-altering and changing, but it was part of a yo-yo process, which is unhealthy. I have worked at different diet facilities that encourage, this eating right lifestyle, but without exercise. And you'll lose a bunch of weight, which, when you're 19, 20, 21 years old, that's the perfect thing. Like, not having to exercise, getting to count points or count calories or whatever, still getting to sneak that beer in because it's within your points or calories. It was just really unhealthy. And that's just how I've lived my life ever since I was 10 years old. So that's a little bit about my past and kind of how I've slowly creeped up and up and up and up to where I am. But let's just go ahead and get to what really got me to the heaviest that I've ever been in my life. As of May 2017, I found out that I was 232 pounds, which is the heaviest that I've ever been in my entire life. I found myself unfulfilled, unhappy, fat, none of my clothes fit, depressed, you name it, and I felt it. When I stepped on that scale and saw how far I had let myself go, which, mind you, I had actually never been over 200 pounds in my entire life up until about 2 years ago. When I stepped on that scale, I started bawling. I cried for like 3 days about this. I couldn't believe that I had let myself go that far. I knew that I was getting up over the 200-pound mark, but I had no idea that I was tipping the scales at 232 pounds. I mean, honestly, I had been anywhere between 150 to 160 my whole entire life. And so 232 pounds was it was completely unacceptable. And I was really, really depressed, to say the least. And it kind of also lit a fire in my ass that was like, you know what? You've got to fucking do something about this. Like, you cannot continue to ignore this. You can't continue to go the next year and gain weight like this. Like, it's absolutely crazy. In December of 2015, I found out that I was pregnant, and I was so excited. I had never actually been pregnant in my entire life, and Ben was super excited too because he had gone through some things with being deployed and coming back from the war, and so he didn't think that he was actually going to be able to get anybody pregnant. So when we found out that we were pregnant, we were excited. It was probably the best day of both of our lives. Shortly after that, of course, we made our appointment to go in, and the lady that was doing our ultrasound said that she could not see the baby. And she said that it, probably was just because it just wasn't big enough yet. And so we set another appointment to go in, and we got our ultrasound, and she said again that she could not see the baby in my uterus. And shortly after that, we found out that I was carrying an ectopic pregnancy. And with an ectopic pregnancy, there is absolutely no way that you can conceive that child. It is stuck in your fallopian tube, and it has to be evacuated. So we set our appointment and had the pregnancy evacuated, and it was the hardest thing I think I've ever had to do, especially, with how excited that we both were that we had gotten pregnant in the first place. It almost felt like a complete miracle. And that hit me harder than I think I had really expected it to hit me, and it also hit Ben pretty hard. And shortly after that, I could tell that my mood had changed and his mood had changed, and we were both kind of combating each other. Every day it was arguments and throwing stuff, and we were just not friendly towards each other anymore. It got to the point to where we were just two strangers living in the same house. And I eventually found out that Ben had cheated on me. And that took our relationship, what I thought at that time was going to be, to the end. We were just at each other's throat. We were arguing and fighting. I was just getting more and more depressed, and I was starting to have anxiety attacks, and my health was just starting to decrease. I had high blood pressure. I was just feeling this loss, and I was feeling this betrayal, and I had no friends to come around me to help me through this. I had nobody. I had pretty much isolated myself over the past few years because I didn't really know anybody, and all my friends from high school and college and stuff like that, they were all off doing their own thing, and I didn't want to bother anybody. So I was literally dealing with this on my own, by myself, inside, and I was imploding. It got to the point to where I had become a danger to myself, and I had tried to commit suicide a couple of times. And I finally just, I had to tell somebody what was going on in my life. And so I told my mom, and she sent me to a place where I could get helped and help me just kind of rehabilitate and get my life together. And Ben and I worked on our relationship. We did a book called The Love Dare, where it was 40 days of different dares. We read it together, and we actively participated in each dare, as well as we went to couples therapy together, and we started to mend our relationship. And we honestly became the best couple that I could just ever imagine. Our relationship is so strong, and we are just so much in love, and we have moved past everything, and we are just totally different people. I took all of the food and all of the stuff that I was eating when I was depressed, and I moved it over to my happy time. Now I'm happy. Now, I'm starting to get out of being clinically depressed, and I'm eating like crazy. So now I'm happy, and now I'm gaining weight and gaining weight and gaining weight. And really, at the end of the day, that's what brought me here. My downward slope and then my upward slope. So it just goes to show you that at the end of the day, whether I was depressed or I was happy, I have a really, really bad relationship with food. That's a bad relationship. And I needed to not only correct that, but I needed to start to incorporate some activity into my life. So I decided to start doing some different challenges, challenging myself in these small challenges. Every 2 to 3 months, I would do something different to challenge myself and to start losing weight. And so that's kind of what brought me here right now. And I am, like I said, trying to find a band of people that are like-minded, people that are like me, that want some change in their life, whether they're healthy and fit and just want to do a new routine or something like that, or whether they're starting at the beginning of their journey, or maybe they're smack dab in the middle and just want to try something new. I'm just looking for people like me. You know, there's a really good quote from Mark Twain that says, the 2 most important days of your life are the day that you're born and the day that you find out why. And I have honestly found out why. I believe that I was born to help other people to make changes in their lives, whatever type of health and wellness and fitness changes that they're trying to make. I'm here to be that story, that inspiration, that cheerleader. I'm here to be that person. That's why I believe that I was brought here, was to help and inspire somebody to get to goals that they never thought that they could reach. And it's not even just about the weight loss. When you start feeling good and when you start feeling healthy, overall your life changes. My life has changed. Your life will change. So maybe it starts with health and wellness and your fitness and getting down to a certain weight. And you start to gain this confidence that turns you into that person that just goes out there and maybe decides to quit their job and start some passion that they have been dreaming about but could never have done with the mindset that they had when they were, you know, feeling, well, not very good about themselves. So, you know, yes, it is for me about inspiring somebody to get up and get moving and to end the trend of obesity. But at the same time, this first step may get somebody to reach ultimate goals in their life that they never thought were possible. And so that's a little bit about my story. And if this has encouraged or inspired you in any way, I just tell you to hit that email down there in my description and go ahead and send me an email. If you want to do a challenge with me, or, you know, talk to me about whatever you have going on and just want some encouragement, hey, get down there, look at my link to my Facebook or to my email, message me, and I'll hit you back up for sure. But if this isn't for you and you're not ready to make any changes quite yet, and whatever the case may be, that's all right. Do your thing. And when you're ready, I'm going to be here. All right. Well, I'm going to go for the day, and I hope that you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.